Hi everybody, what's up? I decided to do a little video from my Peace Corner, not the car. Gotta change it up, get them all revved and on the edge of their seats. Anyway, thanks for being here. And I just wanted to share a few things. I actually made a video yesterday and I didn't like it. It was just not what I really wanted. It didn't include everything I wanted. So I thought about it, slept on it, and had some epiphanies and saw some other videos that fell right in line with what I was just needing to hear. Hopefully that goes for you guys too. It's not just an algorithm thing. And you go, oh, I see. And that's where we are. So thanks for joining me. I'll try not to make this too long. And also, I'll try not to fidget with my hair that I slept in while it was wet and then woke up and put coconut oil in. Looks just like that, doesn't it? Let's just pretend like we're all on an island together and we're sitting around a fire or near a stream. I have that in the background just because I love that sound. If it makes you have to go pee, I apologize in advance, but you take your phone with you to the bathroom anyway, so whatever, I won't see you. I won't see you, but anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. So here's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Also, peace, peace. Latin for peace. Here's the dream. I had a dream. It was freaky. It was very freaky. So I'm outside at a barbecue, I see a barbecue pit. And there's a snake on it, on the grill. And I'm like, ew, I don't eat snake. I hope we're not eating that. But whatever, here we go, messing with the hair. And I was like, that's weird. It's black on top and flesh colored at the bottom, half and half. And eventually I noticed it crawls off, but as it's crawling off, it's becoming bigger and bigger, and it's like a human-sized snake. And I was like, oh my gosh, WTF, what is that thing? And I see some guy and I start to tell him about it and everything that I saw, and he's fascinated. But right in the middle of me telling him, he's like, so you wanna? And I was like, no, thank you. And I walked the other way. And so I'm recording myself talking about it. Like, I have to remember this. It's so freaky. And I move on to somewhere else. And all of a sudden I'm in a thrift store, right? I love thrift stores. I was kind of like the Molly Ringwald of my school because we didn't have money, and so I would shop at thrift stores and make cute little outfits. And there's stuff like everywhere, all over the floor, and for some reason I lay down on the floor, and I'm wearing this outfit that is red and black with old-fashioned granny boots, which I love, those tall lace-up boots. I used to wear those actually in the 80s. An overcoat and a purse. And I'm clearly in another time period, right? Let me turn the water down a little bit. So I'm like, that's a great outfit, but I don't wear that. So I recognize, okay, I'm in another time frame, another time period. And, but I'm still holding my phone. I'm recording with my phone, and I'm like, time travel, astral projecting, what the hell? So then I'm trying to listen to, what I had said earlier to the guy, because apparently I recorded that too without realizing it, and just trying to make sense of all of it, right? And then I see a little family. And this little family is a mom and dad and a little 10-year-old boy. And I think they were Russian because I'm still listening closely with my phone. I have notes. And I've got it to my ear, and the mother says, this is my best Russian accent. She says, "Why aren't you letting us hear it?" And I said, well, because I'm saying bad words and you have a little boy and I don't want him to hear that. And she looks at me and says, he will not know better until he learns the words. I was like, okay, well, no, it's my phone, rude. But I appreciate your input. And so that happened. And then she goes back to focusing on them playing this little game that I noticed they were playing. And I say to the boy, ooh, how about you bet money? And the dad goes, okay, $1. And the little boy pulls out all these big silver coins, and he goes, $20. And I was like, whoa, that's $20? Like, I didn't know. I'd never seen it before. But I was like, cool. And next thing I know, I'm back in the main part of the thrift store, but there's someone I know there, and I'm like, what? That's weird. And I begin trying on hats. Apparently that's the last part of my awesome outfit that I'm missing is a hat. And I keep retelling the story of the snake in my mind, but also to this person. You know, seeing a half black, half flesh colored snake that turns into the size of a human is pretty freaky. You can't just keep that to yourself. And, but at this point I catch myself like, what the hell am I doing? Why do I see snakes on a grill? Why am I shopping for a hat? Why is this person here? And I literally tell myself, I need to get out of here. I need to wake up. And I did. Pulled myself right out of the dream. So as I'm waking up more, the next thing I do in my real life, waking life, is I watch a video by Joseph P. Anthony. He is an astrologer and psychic I've mentioned before. And I'll link this particular video below. Whether you believe in that or not, a lot of us have prophetic gifts. I'm just saying. And astrology has been used for thousands of years. And planetary alignments do affect us. Just look at the world stage, you'll see it play out, especially when aggressive planets are in action, like Mars. Action, anger, intensity. So he is not, biased in any way. He doesn't prefer one presidential candidate over the other, but because of what's been going on in the news with the Biden family and that whole laptop thing, and I don't know about it. I just heard about it from him. I was like, oh Lord, the poop's gonna hit the fan. That's what he said too. Things aren't looking so good for Joe. And so, based on his chart alone, just on his chart alone, it's destined, And the main message that I took from that is, oh boy, more chaos, yay. So pull back from it, but also just do the right thing when no one's looking. Just do the right thing when no one's looking, and be right within yourself. I don't think Mr. Biden has done that. I don't think Trump has either at all times. I mean, no one's perfect. But when I personally feel like to be a politician, you have to be psychopath on some level. I don't know. And we all know Trump didn't get into politics, before. But anyway, I don't want to get into it. I really don't like talking about politics. I don't. I've mentioned it, some stuff in my other mainstream media's own video, because it is. But moving forward. So there's that. Self-love, self-respect, do the right thing when no one's looking. Even though we're flawed and we're human, we're still spirits having human experiences, right? So then I go on a hike. It was gorgeous yesterday. I recorded that video I was talking about. I changed my mind, but here are a few things that I do want to talk about that I mentioned. And the first thing I noticed, I was about to get out of my car. Let me just shine her up. It's a coin. Speaking of coins, I see two of them. I've seen these before, but this coin was made in the year 2020. Let me back up. Do you see this? My hand looks huge. It's a bat. It's a mama bat and a baby bat in the year 2020. How did this whole shit show get started? Bats. In the year of Corona, they make a coin with bats. If that isn't mockery of all of us, I don't know what is. And that's just one level. I know, we all know there's so many levels of mockery. Gross. Not funny at all. And it's their way of doing their in plain sight, games that they do. So I refuse to fall for it. I know all of you do as well. Welcome, soul tribe. Welcome, team. So then I tell my sister about my weird snake dream, and she has amazing dreams as well. We all do. It's just we really got to try to record them because they tell us things. It's not all just subconscious stuff, right? symbolism. This was symbolism, and I recognized it right away. I give her the details, and she lays it out in such a straightforward, mind-blowing manner that I was like, oh my gosh. And she goes, so maybe the person in your dream doesn't realize it, or maybe they do, but they're being slithery like a snake. I mean, maybe they're watching or following you. And I thought, oh. And truth be told, based on some of these videos I saw today, we're always being watched. Again, even when you go potty and you take your phone. Come on, we know. We know. Sometimes I'm like, hey, Google, whoop. They're like, it's not very big. I'm like, it's real. Moving forward. So I thought about that and I was like, wow. And also social media, right? You know, I'm on YouTube talking to you guys. Facebook, we're always being watched. Always, always, always. And that's a slithery, snaky thing, how we're always being surveilled. So maybe that's what it was about. And they're half flesh colored and half snake colored because hybrids. There's that too. So then she says, you know, she's very faith-based. And I love her so much. I talk about her a lot in some of my other videos. She's a strong soul. I just love her. But she said, based on some of the things that have happened to her and some of the people that, you know, we mutually know, she can't help but think that some of us, if not most of us, are experiments. And unfortunately, some of those experiments are for the wrong reasons. It's like torture, just to see how much can a human take. And then others are for the right reasons. That's going into a whole other realm. But come on, we gotta like take everything into consideration, right? Everything. Like don't close your mind to anything. Really examine. You really think we're the only life form in the universe like that can consciously? No, we're not. I just don't think so. But I agreed with her and I was like, yep, that makes sense. And I told her too, like, you know, even unbeknownst to a person, they could be spiritually manipulated and walk through their life as what you would call an agent, right? And that's made very prevalent in the movie The Matrix, where Dr. Bruce Lipton says The Matrix is not a sci-fi movie. It is a documentary. And I've mentioned all that with Hollywood film and you know, TV series and whatnot. Predictive programming, preemptive programming. The woman who wrote the Matrix, when Hollywood ripped it off from her, she's the mother of the Matrix, child prodigy. She's like, you can't watch The Matrix or The Terminator without, they both coincide. And John Connor, JC, Jesus Christ, Neo, the one, chosen one. Like, one cannot exist without the other, right? So that's how that story goes. And I was like, wow, yeah. And so after that conversation with my sister, I was looking down in my coin department again, and I was like, right. So if everything is a game to these creeps, and they're manipulating our reality, I say this all the time, we can rewrite the code. We can rewrite reality. And people like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza are constantly telling us that very thing. It's all measured and proven through science, right? So, you know, I hear all this stuff about the Biden family and I'm like, oh, you think? But then I look down and all these little pieces are adding up for me and I go, yeah, I kind of put my toe in every once in a while and I go, oh, that's what's happening? Oh, that's heavy. I can't, I'm out. And then I go in nature and it saves my soul. So, but you know where else all this type of stuff is spoken about? Many of you know I'm on a spiritual journey. Many of you might be very pleased to see that I now am reading this. I have a good story about this little book that I will share at the end. But I recently joined a group of amazing people every Wednesday via Zoom, because we can't be in person. And I'm learning a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of good shit in here. I knew this, but like really practical, spiritual food. And I like it a lot. So I'm happy about that. You know, one of the things that I learned about this book on the last meeting we had, not only is it the most famous book ever written, it is also the only book that can read you. I was like, whoa. I had to write that down. And what I'm gathering from the New Testament in particular is that it's about forming a loving relationship with God, right? He sent Jesus here to represent his human form. And so Jesus was trying to show us that we too can walk the earth, walk through our lives in pure love and peace with the angels. So whether you believe that or not, whether you're spiritual or not, like that's a damn good way to live, don't you think? Like love is the answer. That's the highest vibration of all. And again, you know, it's not easy all the time, especially when you get sucked into the matrix. It's just stupid, but we can regroup spiritually in here. So all the people that I mentioned earlier, and I restate this over and over, we are spirits having a human experience. You know, we have to listen to our guidance. Our intuition is a gift. When we ignore that, and I was a master at ignoring that most of my life. I mean, I would have major red flags go off, and my team of angels, because I'm stubborn and hard to deal with, I'm sure they're like, oh my God, we're so tired. We love her. But oh my God, she's a handful. So how many of you think you have more than one? We all have at least one. I know I have at least 3, because I'm a handful. I'm always asking questions and, you know, just being a pain in the ass in a nice way. But yeah, we're fallible, but we have to keep remembering that we're spirits having a human experience. That's it. So listen to our internal guidance, but sometimes you can also say that's their guidance. Like we think it's our idea, but it's really theirs. That's okay. I'm totally cool with giving them credit. Just tell me what to do. And I ask. And I receive. So anyway, live your life, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Unless you really think that you deserve to be treated like crap, in which case I'm here to remind you, no, you don't. You're loved. And whether you believe it or not, if you're a good person, you deserve love. So that's why we're all here. That's why I'm here to tell you that. Just one more time. I got a lot out of that last meeting. It was pretty amazing. And, oh God, and the other thing, you know, I had a prayer request for someone that I love dearly. And my God, the prayer that they said was just, I just was bawling and snotting and writing. And I was thinking, this feels like love. And I loved it. 'Cause love. So anyway, the great news is, again, your guardian angels, they'll remind you. Just ask. They can't intervene unless you ask. So I'm going to wrap it up really quickly. The thing is, I was sitting in my car realizing, wow, I'm really so unafraid to speak my truth now. And I think we should all be unafraid to speak our truth as long as we're coming from love, right? One time, a long time ago, I was in an acting class, my first one that I took here where I live now. And the teacher said, what others, you know, that quote, what others think of you is really none of your business. And I just would out loud say, oh my God, that takes off so much pressure. And everyone's like, weirdo. And I was like, no, it really does. Like, it's wonderful. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean go around being a jerk. You know, it just means like be you, right? Get to know who you are, not who the world tells you you are. Ooh. Someone said that. I posted it on Facebook, and it was like, that's love and harsh truth right there. So, and then also from a realistic standpoint, right, as humans with egos, we can't just trash our egos. You know, they do help us in some ways. We just got to have it be level. From a human standpoint, when we receive a compliment, we should graciously and humbly accept it. And that took me a really long time too. So all of you who are so cool to me on this channel, thank you so much. For one thing, it's really hard for me to receive it. But before I open my busy, talkative mouth, I receive it in here. And then I send the love out to you, and then I write. So hopefully you feel that. Hopefully. I'm learning how to write it better too. So with that all said, you know, we can't rob someone of the joy of giving us that gift, of making us feel nice, happy about ourselves. And our intuition will tell us the difference between whether it's a genuine compliment or something else. Anyway, lastly, I'm going to encourage you to watch the videos that I saw today that just happened to come in right when I needed them. 2 of them are about prophetic dreams, and another is about really listening to our own spiritual guidance. You know, call it God, call it your intuition, angels, universe, whatever. But it's there. We all have it. We all have it. So, one last thing. This book, now when I go hiking, I've mentioned and I've put a picture of one of the rocks. I always find these cool rocks. These sweet little kids in the community are always painting rocks. And this is one of my recent favorites that I found. Isn't that amazing? It's got shiny, sparkly paint on it. And I found it one day. I was listening to Pointer Sisters. We are family. Hey, I got all my sisters and And I was like, wow, that's a great movie. Remember the birdcage? Remember the political division? And remember how they joined together in a weird cause, but still it was cute and sweet and wonderful. And hello, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Like, love, 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 love them. I posted about it. We are one big family on the earth. So then, on a different day though, I was standing in the creek. And so imagine, if you will, the sun was out. I take off my shoes. I grab a handful of rocks and dirt, and I'm standing in the sun, letting it hit my face, taking deep breaths. I can smell the flowers and the water and the dirt and everything, and I hear the birds, and I'm earthing, grounding for 10 minutes, and it makes me feel so good. Hello, if you have a human body, you should try that. It'll make you feel amazing too. And when I get out, I go over to the bench, and I see this on the bench. And so it was marked. It was marked right here. Now, I highlighted a part that jumped out to me. I read all of this, but this is what stood out to me. So we'll end with this. It says, my God, it's so tiny. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. Are you kidding me? That's the part that stood out to me. Dis-ease, imbalance, stress, fear, fatigue, whatever, grounding, earthing, getting back to Mother Nature, the one infinite source, love, Gaia, God, Jesus, universe, angels, water, rocks. It doesn't matter. What I do know is, light of the world, shine on me, and you. Love is the answer. Ooh, Peace and love, y'all.